Good day. I am Dr. Andrea Cristina Balipan Belegaño, and we will be discussing birth canal lacerations and repair. So we have terms like episiotomy and periotomy. They are used synonymously. They are used interchangeably. This pertains to the incision of the pudendum in the external genital organs. So we have different types of episiotomy being done during vaginal delivery. We have the midline and the mediolateral episiotomies. These are two main types and vary in the angle of the perineal incision. Okay, so it may be provided by analgesia may be and should be provided during this procedure. It could either be local analgesia by using pudendal nerve block in some institutions, and by what we used to do is by infiltrating 1% lidocaine on the area just before crowning. Okay, so with the midline episiotomy, it begins at the fourchette. Okay, it begins at the fourchette. Okay, incises the perineal body in the midline and ends well. Okay, it ends well before it reaches the anal sphincter. So you don't reach the anal sphincter. The incision of the length varies depending on the thickness of the perineal body because different patients, especially those multigravid, have quite short no or lesser yung area of the perineal body. So the midline episiotomy apparently has a greater likelihood of associated anal sphincter injury because if the delivery is fast or the baby is big or the Ritgens maneuver was not performed properly, if you can recall the Ritgens during delivery of the baby, no, where you put your hands here, the other hand is preventing, no, controlling the delivery of the head. It with a midline episiotomy, it has a high likelihood of the incurring obstetric anal sphincter injury. Okay, so we also have the mediolateral episiotomy. Okay, the from the midline of the fourchette, okay, it is directed towards the tuberosity at an angle of 60 degrees approximately of the midline. Okay, so mediolateral episiotomy is cut. It is done as soon as the baby's head is crowning. Okay, so well with the mediolateral episiotomy, it is a preferred incision. Okay, because it has a less likelihood of incurring obstetric anal sphincter injury. Okay, we also talk about lateral episiotomy. It begins at the point 1 to 2 centimeter lateral from the midline. So from the midline, diretso tayo. Okay, it's either the left or the right of the ischial tuberosity. Okay, so if someone's left-handed, then they go this way. Okay, so now we talk about birth canal lacerations. This is very important because in your practice, in as a midwife manning the facilities, of course, we incur no mga vaginal lacerations. So you don't do episiotomy, but then inevitably there will be lacerations, and it's very important that you identify this different lacerations because uh, for you to know when to refer. Because there are lacerations at the third and the fourth degree, it has to be done by a trained no, na obstetrician gynecologist because we have to oppose. No, there are areas that we have to oppose kasi because the sphincter and the perineum or the rectum has already been transected and you cannot just repair it, oppose it, and then it's okay because you will incur the patient will develop incontinence, no bowel incontinence, or if it has gone towards the rectum, then there would be fistula. Now, so your patient would be going through a lot. Well, in fact, it should have been done right the first time so that they will not be suffering from such conditions anymore, complications. So we start off with the first degree laceration. Okay, it is injury only to the vaginal epithelium or the perineal skin. No, skin lang. Okay, first degree laceration does not always require repair. Okay, pwede namang i-compress mo lang siya, no? And then the bleeding will just stop and there's no need for repair. Or suturing may be done. Even if it's superficial laceration, sometimes the bleeding can it's still there. So then you have to make some repair or suturing. Okay, for the second degree laceration, it is incurred or it occurs when there's a midline or a mediolateral episiotomy repair. The same step, okay, you have to close the vaginal epithelium. Okay, and we approximate the bulbus spongiosus muscle. Okay, and then the transverse perineal muscle. No, here you have to restore it because it is all part of the perineal body. So that is so far as second degree laceration is concerned. Now we have the third degree lacerations. We have different kinds. Okay, we have the 3A, 3B, and 3C. This one you have to identify, you have to see because this one you have to refer. You have to refer because we have to oppose the anal sphincter, the anus that has been transected already. No, so when you talk about third degree 3A, less than 50%, hindi fully transected yung anal sphincter. Okay? So, if it is 3B, more than 50%, no, halos ma-transect na yung buong sphincter muscle. Okay? But the internal anal sphincter with 3B is still intact. Okay? With the 3C, it has all been torn, no? Nakikita mo talaga if you look closely at the laceration, makikita mo ito itong different strand of muscle, alam mo, malalaman mo na yun ay sphincter. Okay, one side would be protruding, the other side would be, since it is transected, medyo siya malalim, medyo may dimple siya on that other side. So the other one would be protruding, the other one would be somewhat dimpling. So yun, we have to be able to refer this one kasi i-oppose namin ito so that your patients will not have problems with controlling defecation. Okay, so looking closely again, so that's 3A, 3B, okay, and 3C. So when you talk about 3A, less than 50%. If it is 3B, more than 50%. You look closely at where the arrow is pointing. And then we have 3C, fully transected. Okay, but then if the rectum, no, it's not transected, it's just third degree. But if it is different story, if it is transected also this, no, kita mo na yung puwet. Alright? So anorectal mucosa is being lacerated. So all the more, no, we will be doing layer by layer repair. So we've opposed first using a very small suture. Opposing this, hindi siya magta-transect doon hanggang sa baba. Superficial lang kami. Okay, and it has to be sterile kasi remember, fecal materials coming out here. So dapat malinis and then we oppose this and then we proceed with opposing the other layer. So layer by layer repair ito. Okay, so the risk factors for injury includes nulliparity. Okay, so well with the mediolateral episiotomy, it is protective, no, mostly protective. So the anal sphincter injuries are associated with greater blood loss, okay, and greater pain for your patients. Although more if it is an advanced kind of laceration, like the third and the fourth degree. Okay, so there would be cases of fecal incontinence again, as I mentioned earlier, if the vaginal injury is as far as third and fourth degree. Okay, so to ensure appropriate repair, there has to be a proper identification of the kind of laceration you have incurred or you have incurred at the moment. Okay, so the risk factors for such is nulliparity, well, a midline episiotomy, okay, persistent occiput, no? When there's crowning and occiput, it will avulse, no? It will greatly avulse the perineal body. Asian race, because of our build, maliit tayo, so we can actually have big babies. Okay, short perineum. Short perineum is a risk. Okay, and then greater fetal weight. No, mas malaki yung baby, mas malaki yung chances of injury. Okay, so again, when we do either of this episiotomy, it has to be crowning. Okay, so unnecessary performance of an episiotomy, no, yung paggawa ng laceration, pag-create ng laceration, untimely, hindi siya crowning, okay, would incur bleeding, no? So I'd like to reiterate that you only do this whenever you are allowed or you can in your facility pag crowning na. Because of course the thickness of the laceration will be thinner, contrary to doing this incisions way when the head is still inside. Mas makapal, mas malayo, malaki yung laceration mo. Okay, so the episiotomy is completed when the head is visible during a contraction with an approximate diameter of 4 centimeter or yung what we call crowning. Okay, so or when doing the forceps, when the forceps were already applied, that's the time you do your episiotomy. All right, so the repair, with talking about repair, for second degree laceration, as well as a midline, whether it's a midline or mediolateral episiotomy, this is what I'm talking about. No, you have to oppose this one, the transverse, this is the perineal body, which is comprised of the superficial transverse perineal muscle, okay, the bulbocavernosus muscle, kailangan mo ma-oppose silang lahat. Okay, so to close the vaginal epithelium, reoppose the bulbus spongiosus, the superficial transverse muscle, in order for you to reoppose or restore the perineal body. Okay, what we usually use are sutures like polyglactin or the chromic gut, or what we have mostly now is the Vicryl Rapid. Hindi na masyado ginagamit yung catgut kasi sabi daw nila it is made out of pork lumen. No? So of course we have religious belief naman na kasi no, so medyo hindi na masyado siya natin masyado nakikita pero they're still there, no, the chromic catgut. But what we usually have now in practice in the hospital and in some facilities are Vicryl Rapid, yung puti. Okay? So ayan. Midline episiotomy repair, you have to anchor your stitch. No, when you do your stitching, it has to be above the incision, above where the laceration is. Why is that? I keep telling my other students this. You do it above, at least 1 centimeter above the laceration, because remember, the blood vessels here, they retract. No, umaatras. Now, if you're not able to get it, if you're not able to, ligate these blood vessels, you will have, even if you're able to repair, you will be surprised that there would be a developing hematoma. Okay, magkakaroon ng hematoma. So it has to be above, no, the wound apex, and we can do a running stitch, continuous running, or interlocking closure using a 2O suture, no, to close the epithelium. If there's deeper tissues being damaged or laceration is deeper, then you have to do a layer by layer repair. So you start with the first layer. Okay, remember it has to be beyond the laceration because the vessels retract. And when we're done with this part here, you start with the superficial one. Okay, so layer by layer repair, as you can see here, no? Una niya dito and then this one here. Okay, so transition stitch with direct suturing from the vagina to the epithelium. Okay, so the superficial transverse muscle, you have to reapproximate, remember that. Okay, so yan, has to be above. Next, ayan, layer by layer repair. And then, ayun, you have to oppose the perineal body. All right. For the third degree lacerations, this one we do. Okay. If you get to see this during your practice, this is what we do. But the picture here shows a fourth degree laceration kasi the picture shows repair of the rectum na, no? So after we have repaired the rectum, the rectal area, we have to pull it out, and we pull this out also, and then we have to oppose. No, we have to do either a figure of eight with using a stronger kind of suture, yung delayed absorption. The Vicryl, yung Vicryl, yun ang gamit namin. We have to oppose this before we oppose the other layers because this has to be opposed properly so that it will heal properly and in order for you to prevent fecal incontinence. Okay? Yan. So figure of eight kami. So the fourth degree laceration, ganun din, layer by layer repair. 4O, so manipis na suture na chromic, catgut, or polyglactin, layer by layer. No? Sterile ito, lilinisan mo muna using betadine. No? Lilinisan mo layer by layer. You have to change gloves actually. Once you're done with this layer, and you're going up to the other layers, after repairing this, kasi we have to check kasi kung may guitar string feels, no? So we have to put our fingers way inside the rectum, so marumi. No, after repairing this part, we change gloves before we start suturing the other layers in order to prevent contamination. Okay? So post-operative management of such lacerations, we can either use single-dose antibiotic as recommended by the American Association, no, of Obstetrics and Gynecology. So for single-dose second generation, we can use cephalosporin or clindamycin, or if your patient is allergic to penicillin. Okay, we can also give stool softeners because this is painful, and sometimes they're constipated or they're just afraid to defecate. Also, we have to give them stool softeners or enema in order to help them out with defecation. Para din hindi sila, and then you have to tell your patients to hydrate para they will have hindi matigas yung pupo nila, and then it will be easier, the defecation. So, some will put ice pack, will have warm sitz bath, but very important is hygiene. No, malinis. Malinis lang yung area. Sometimes kasi they don't clean because it's masakit, because so therefore you have to give oral analgesia para hindi masakit, para they're able to clean the area properly. Okay? Okay, so some patients would ask, no, especially the husband, when would it be safe to have sexual contact? So if the second degree laceration or an anal sphincter tear, intercourse is proscribed. No, can we wait for at least 6 weeks? Okay, at least 6 weeks na at least nag-heal na yung laceration, nag-oppose na yung mga muscle na na-transect before you actually even, introduce another mechanical stress towards the vagina. Okay, so if it is a fourth degree laceration or it has been different lacerations that your patient sustained, then delay. No, delay for 3 to 6 months. Okay, you just have to explain it to your patient, explain it to the couple, because we have to give way for healing, no, so that the muscles that we oppose will be able to heal properly, and the woman will have, uh, ease in the healing process. Okay, so you have again for lastly, I would like to remind that you have to tell your patients proper hygiene. Proper hygiene is the key. Kasi kung marumi ito, no matter what repair we have done, if there's no proper hygiene, there's no proper antibiotics, and your patients are having hard stools, gaano sila, valsalva sila, so the damage the repair will not be good, and the repair would be, and the healing would be longer, or we might be doing again the repair because of the poor hygiene, hindi siya nag-heal ng maayos, so we'll have to do it again, we'll have to do debridement, and that's quite complicated already. Okay, so that is all for my lecture. Thank you for your kind attention.